before we talk about the game, I told our kids that today was about something bigger. I love our blackout game, our pink theme KL, but the blackout for SIH is important because it takes the shift off of us. This is a game that all of us start playing in childhood, and to keep the focus on that, it is a game. I know it's a business, but it is a game. But I ask our kids for 40 minutes, we were being asked to fight, not for us, but to show gratefulness of the people who are battling real fights every single day. And all of you know cancer touches every last one of us, from friends to family members, and it's the same thing in our locker room. I told them when times got tough to think about the battle that folks face, and that's what I'm proud of. Our kids show the resiliency and the fight that was representative of tonight. And so that's number one. When we get into the game, as this team is growing, our margin of error is so small. You acknowledge of how hard we're fighting, and this battle was the same. This was the same game. The only thing that was different was a huge run that they went on at their place. But we locked in defensively the same way we locked in tonight in the first half, holding them for chances of single digits in every quarter except the last one. And so when you have that, we can't come out of timeouts on a play that we run all the time and throw the ball away. We can't come out of another one and throw it away. Unforced errors that are self-inflicted when you have a chance to build on your lead. Then on the other end, you get really good stops, their first shot offense. I thought we did a good job of limiting them, but at the end, you let 22 come in and get 2 offensive rebounds when your others are fighting, boxing out, and we got a guard letting her come in and one loose ball right at the rim that if we grab that, it's a different game. And so our margin of error is so small. When you've seen us winning these games and being in a position to win games, our assist ratio has gone up tremendously. We've had 19, 17, 15. At their place, we had 7. Tonight, we had 6. And you see the ball sticking a little bit more. Credit to their defense on what they try to do, but on the adjustments that we made, and hopefully we see them again, but on the adjustments that we made, our young ladies just got to stick to it, and they want to score so bad, but we got to get that ball reversed because it's harder to guard. That's when our open looks got there. Overall, I'm proud of them. They got one more basket than us. They had 21 baskets. We had 20, and they had a couple of offensive rebounds at critical times. We got folks in foul trouble, and we just got to stay in attack mode.
And that being said, you had the girl you probably wanted at the foul line after she got fouled shooting a 3. You had to feel like chances were pretty good. You were at least going to have a tie game and maybe a chance to stop them and go to OT, right?
Let me tell you something. 24/7, 365, I'm rolling with Elena. At that time, we'll put her there again. But our Superwoman is human, too. Mm-hmm. Superwoman is human. I like the stroke on it. Just didn't go in. But, like I said, I'm rolling with that kid anytime at the line. She's one of the leaders, in the conference. And that kid eats pressure. So that's just a fluke. We flush that and move on to the next.
You get a 10-point lead in the third quarter. Bradley's able to cut that thing down to 4.
Yeah.
It just kind of seemed like the tenor of that game was such that it just wasn't ever going to get comfortable one way or the other. I mean, you touched on it too. You feel like you kind of lost this game at the margins in terms of, like you said, a missed box out here and there, an offensive rebound, a turnover out of a timeout.
Yeah, and they were strategic. They were strategic during that run, as well, because it was straight line drive, straight line drive, straight line drive. And I talked to our kids, and I talked to my staff as well about having those subs ready when they've identified a person and they're picking on that person. Then we got to change up our coverage a little bit until the next thing hurts us. And so we didn't adjust like we should have. I probably could have used a timeout during that stretch, but I wanted to keep them for the end of the game. And that's something that, we'll come back to it. But that's something that I think we just got to be a little bit more strategic on because they just got a couple of easy baskets on straight line right-hand drives.
How you want to see this team respond going into Thursday night with Northern Iowa coming in here?
You know what? Just like they've had a good short memory. they were able to flush Illinois State, and they celebrated and, you know, happy for that win, but they were able to turn the page. Now we got a day of recovery, and that's what I want them to be smart. To prepare for the next game is to prepare your bodies and your mind tomorrow and a physical day off, but we need to do the things to get ready for that. UNI is the biggest game just because they're next on the schedule. We've made adjustments, you know, for that, and then we'll go and execute our game plan, going into executing our game plan on Tuesday. But this group has been done a very good job of turning the page and moving on to the next.